It's time to fill in some of the missing main characters from our Fatal Frame Facts series, so this week we're going to be taking a look at one of my personal favourite characters, the headstrong and powerful Asou Misaki. Without further ado, let's head right on in. 1. Misaki is 17 in the first game. Because the events of that game take place in 1989, that means she was born in 1972. 2. The characters used for her first name are Ocean and Bloom, both meaningful characters for this game, and overall a rather common combination of characters for the name Misaki. 3. Being an Asou, she obviously uses the same characters as her ancestor, Dr. Asou Kunihiko, for her surname, with those characters being Hemp and Life. 4. We don't actually know who Misaki's parents are. While we meet Luca's parents in-game, Misaki's are a mystery. And on that note, we also don't know how she is related to any of the other Asous across the games either, as this is never brought up for any of them. But being an Asou descendant, this means Misaki is related to Mio and Mayu from the second game, Yu from the third game, and Nen from the fifth game. It's possible she's a descendant of a guardian from Dogetsu Island, as it's later hinted that Dr. Asou may have married one of them, but this has never been definitively stated, so it remains speculation at this point. 5. Misaki is voiced by Sawashiro Miyuki. She's another voice actress who has been active since the late 1990s, so throw a dart at a show and there's a good chance she was on it at some point. Of note to viewers of this channel might be things like High School of the Dead, Danganronpa, Parasite, Kakegurui, and many, many more. And being that Fatal Frame 4 doesn't have an English dub, she doesn't currently have an English voice actress. 6. As a child, Misaki fell ill with the local disease Moonlight Syndrome. As such, her family sent her to Dogetsu Hall for treatment. This same hall used to be a hotel long ago, when her ancestor Dr. Asou stayed there when he visited the island, and in the present time, part of that hall remains as a museum dedicated to him. 7. While at the hospital, Misaki met and befriended Haibara Sakuya, the daughter of the hospital's director. Sakuya was suffering from a particularly bad case of Moonlight Syndrome, made worse by the fact that she had a strong sixth sense. Sakuya informed the young Misaki that she too had a strong sixth sense, and the pair bonded over this. Sakuya gave Misaki a doll called Mia, a combination of both their names, and hoped that she could use it to help stabilize her sense of self when things got particularly tough. 8. In Misaki's treatment notes, one of her doctors also notes that she has high spiritual potential, and this makes her different to other patients because their sense of self is weaker than others, making Moonlight Syndrome, which eventually erases one's sense of self, all the more dangerous for them. Haibara Shigeto, Sakuya's father and the hospital director, then decides to use Misaki for several experiments, hoping that if something works on her, it'll also work for his daughter, Sakuya. 9. A tape recording found in the third floor management office features an interview between a young Misaki and Shigeto. In it, she mentions that Sakuya said she and her are the same, that they are deibai, or spirit mediums. And Sakuya also said that as long as they are together, nothing will happen to her. 10. Misaki stayed in room 310 in Dogetsu Hall, the Waning Moon room. In Japanese, this uses the characters for the 10th lunar month, or October. While this might not sound meaningful at first, this is the month in the old Japanese calendar, where all the gods from across the country gather at Izumo Taisha in Shimane, and the characters used are kami, leave, and month. That means that for the month of October, the rest of the country is left without Kami-sama, because they are all in Izumo. 11. At some point, the hospital staff did their best to keep Sakuya and Misaki away from each other. Misaki didn't like this, because she generally didn't feel sick when she was in Sakuya's presence. As such, she retreated within herself and clung desperately to Miya, their shared doll, feeling like a part of Sakuya was in there with her. She wasn't entirely wrong. 12. When the time came for Shigeto to attempt his recreation of the Rite of Descent, Misaki was chosen as one of the organs. It was noted that the girls chosen for this role had to be Vestal, obedient, and impressionable, as they would need to become one with the masks for the ritual to succeed. Out of the 5, Misaki was given the flute mask. 13. When the Rite of Descent failed, Misaki dropped Miya, who she was still clinging to, on the stage as she was dragged away. Because of her strong sixth sense, Misaki was hit hardest of all the organs by the ritual's failure, and doctors feared she might deteriorate at any moment. In a worst-case scenario, she might even die or blossom. Because the girls lost their memories after the failure, doctors feared that should she remember what happened, that would be what caused her to finally snap and send her over the edge. 14. Misaki and the other girls spent 2 weeks in the Moonglow Cavern beneath the hospital in an attempt to save their lives. They were eventually found there by Choshiro, who had been sent by Duka's mother to find her after the girls went missing. By this point, none of the girls could remember anything still, and their memories remained lost for the next 10 years. 15. After that entire ordeal with the failed Rite of Descent, and then going missing, Misaki and her family moved away from Dogetsu. At some point, Madoka also starts living with her, and the girls all keep in contact with each other to varying degrees. 16. Due to her serious case of Moonlight Syndrome, worsened by her strong sixth sense, Misaki is generally considered to be quite an enigma to those around her. After all, if Misaki barely has any sense of who she is anymore, how are others supposed to know who she is? She's often described as distant, cold, and distracted, while at other times she's gentle, warm, and loving. 17. 10 years after the failed Rite of Descent, Sakuya, through Miya, summons Misaki back to the island. Miya guides Misaki back through the now abandoned island and tries to get her to remember what happened all those years ago. As doctors feared all those years ago, right as Misaki feels her memories coming back, she fears she's about to blossom. After fighting Sakuya with a camera obscura she brought with her, from the family collection, she finally remembers and Sakuya embraces her. Misaki then falls to the ground. 18. Misaki's fate after this is ambiguous. She has 2 endings, and if you play on easy or normal mode, Misaki simply falls to the ground, unconscious, and then disappears. When Duka arrives in the same location later, only Miya is there. In the second ending, which you get by beating hard or nightmare mode, we get a series of photographs that expand on what happened, and Misaki is seen waking up, encountering Madoka's ghost, and then watching all the spirits leave after Duka successfully soothes Sakuya's spirit. None of these characters have appeared in any game since, so it's impossible to say which ending is canon, but Shibata himself stated he likes the second, with Misaki still alive. 19. Misaki's scenario was mostly written by Masahiro Yuki, who was also the writer for Lollipop Chainsaw. Shibata then added and changed a few things here and there to better blend her story with Duka's, who he was in charge of. 20. And finally, in the original version of the game, Misaki comes with 5 bonus costumes. A flowers and goldfish yukata you get by beating the game once. A chaotic butterflies yukata you get by beating mission mode. A school uniform by collecting over 40 dolls. A punk outfit by beating the game 3 times. And a Luigi outfit by beating the game once. In the remaster, she now has 9 outfits, with the 2 yukata, uniform, and punk outfit returning. Luigi sadly couldn't make the trip, but instead, Misaki now gets a Chinese evening dress, dancer swimsuit, and pink nightwear unlocked by buying the digital deluxe edition. You can also unlock a black and white swimsuit by finding over 60 dolls, and a leather suit by finding over 200 spirits. Time to get searching. And that is 20 facts about Asou Misaki, one of the more powerful and tragic figures in the series. But what did you guys think of this one? Are there any other characters or games you'd like me to explore? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.